Hello, welcome back to my channel. Antoinette here. So I have been alluding, if anyone's watching my videos, consecutively, then you'll know that I've had a couple of orders on pre-order or back order or whatever you want to call it through Cheryl at Oneness Emporium. And this is, I ordered some tea and the tea arrived. In fact, let me get you the tea. Right, so there were two teas I wanted and one was out of stock. The one that was out of stock was this one, and this is the Druid's Blend Artisan Tea. So it's inspired by forest fruits, and I have to say, they had like a large size of this for £65, but it was a massive, massive bag, probably a year's supply of tea. And when you add that up, actually, that's not a bad price for an artisan tea. But I didn't want it in that size until I tried it. So I did email her and said, if any of these come in, please let me know, and then, send me the bill and I can have them. However, she surprised me and she did actually send this one out to me. So I've emailed her back and left her with my PayPal details. So I'll see if she wants to bill me. But this is absolutely gorgeous, the Druid's Forest Blend. She said it's really popular and I totally see why. In these we're having a really, really hot Indian summer here in September, and it's been lovely in a gigantic, litre Kilner mug with some ice cubes, and just very refreshing and fruity. So I have been drinking this one. The one that I also ordered is this one, which is the Black Magic Blend Artisan Tea. And I think the best way to describe this, now that I've properly read and digested the ingredients on it, is that it is chai in its official kind of format. And you do add milk or plant-based substitute to this one, and probably you could add some honey or whatever sweetener you wanted to add to it as well. And there you can see on the screen some of the ingredients that are in it, but it's a nice kind of peppery one. That's what I liked about it. So we have crushed black peppers, orange peel, ginger, cardamom pods, cloves, and obviously black tea and cinnamon are in there as well. I think that's the majority of the ingredients. So yeah, so this one, you can see some of the cardamom pods in there, but this one sounds like it's going to be a really nice one. It's just not been the right temperature, I don't think, for this for me. I've been more on like the fruities. So those came in advance. She very kindly posted these out again in advance of the rest of the pre-order, although I was hoping to get, I had said I'm happy to wait and get the whole lot together. So again, her customer service is, second to none. And this has come wrapped in a box, in the usual black box, but I've taken it out just to get the packaging out of the way. Let me get these teas out of my way. And there was some of these in there, the ones that dissolve in water soluble, to protect the box from bashing around. It was plastic wrapped, so I've taken the shrink wrap off, and that's, basically where we've got. I haven't looked at the cards, so I haven't seen these cards, but the concept I thought was really fascinating, and totally up my thing. Here we go. So these are a selection of cards that she sends you from some of the decks. I named this in the last video. I can't remember what it was called now. Fifth Spirit. So we've got another beautiful kind of Art Nouveau-esque card. I know where this one's from. This one's from the Vampire Tarot, which I have that deck. We have a miniature Lightseers, a miniature animal thingy. Thingy Baron Reed, collect Baron Reed's animal spirits. And a little thank you card from Cheryl, which you get when you place your orders, which is always nice to see. So thank you, Cheryl. All right, let's have a look at this deck. Let's just get everything out of my way. See, these touches, don't have to do this, does she? But she always puts like a lovely bit of wrapping, and it matches her branding, the black and the gold. So here we have it. We have the Beloved Dead it's an oracle deck for divining ancestral wisdom by Carrie and Tina Hardt with a D. Comes in this box. Here's some images on the back. So if you are familiar with the Relative Tarot, also Carrie Paris, then you'll be familiar with the concept of what's going to be in this oracle deck. So, and the boxes are the same size. Yes, I've brought it out so that we can do a pairing. So, hauntingly appealing divination deck, your collection family of ancestors archetypes awaits you in the Beloved Dead Oracle. They will have a lot to say about your day-to-day interactions, interpersonal dynamics, and inner life. Ask the Beloved Dead a question and connect with consciousness that has left the land of form and now resides energetically as spirit. Every spirit in this deck is a bright star in the constellation that lights up the soul's enchanted path to the unlimited potential that is in the future. These are the voices of your protective and guiding ancestors, spirit helpers who understand that there's great work to be done every minute you spend on this side of the veil. It is an 82 card deck with a 144-page colour booklet. So this book is different to the one that came in the Relatives Tarot. So here's our book. Let's do this the right way round. So we have information there, contents. Welcome to the Beloved Dead. What's in the box? I like that. How to begin. Attuning to the Beloved Dead. Acts of Love cards, the cards. Act of Love spread. The Beloved Dead cards, the cards. Ouija. And the Beloved Dead Oracle spreads. A General 3 card. The Evidential Beloved Dead spread and Pillar of Personal Power. Say that one 3 times, Peter Pepper. Why do I think, act, feel and behave a certain way? What's my most authentic choice? What's blocking my way? Am I using this gift of life well? Who am I? Why am I here? Those are some great questions to ask the cards. Welcome to the Beloved Dead. For those who have asked even one of those eternal self questions, welcome to the Beloved Dead, a deck both for you and your spirited ancestors whose stories, wisdom and experiences will seek expression. So we've got some information here telling us all about it. I don't want to spend too much time reading everything. So this tells us about how the card has come. So enter the Beloved Dead, designed as a standalone deck to be used for divination, but we also encourage you to combine it and layer it with the Relative Tarot. The Beloved Dead allows you to journey far and journal deeply in isolated moments of confusion or in times of conflict, of uncertainty. It can be used for quick pulls, daily guidance and reliable answers for practical questions, and yet our Beloved Dead aspire to more. We'll introduce you to therapeutic and insightful spreads with great and transformative potential. The spreads can be found obviously on page 115. What's in the box? Sorry, I just realised I was reading that off camera, wasn't I? I'm good at this. So 1 Spirit Throne card, 10 Act of Love cards, 69 Beloved Dead cards, and 1 Ouija card. We view the last card as the deck's wild card, and so it comes without interpretation. When the Ouija card appears in a reading, take it as a sign that Spirit is lingering outside the cards in your reading, or perhaps that another question needs to be asked. The Spirit Throne. Think of this as a personal staging card, the majestic Spirit Throne. It isn't one of the family oracle cards, it's unique and it has its own purpose. It's meant to be used as a seat of honour, a sacred space within to hold the council. You can use the Spirit Throne card to call upon the ancestors, to invite them for conversation. So it's a bit like having like a dumb supper, isn't it? And leaving a setting for the person that, you're having, you want to call in for your dumb supper, I suppose, whoever the beloved person is that's passed. Act of Love cards, 10 cards, as special forces, oracles of acts of love. These cards represent energetic transactions and choices that once made become your alchemy, turning basic instincts into gold. No, baser instincts. Yeah, not really heard that word before. They can represent an individual, an energetic imprint in our ancestors. They have the potential to release pain and shift unconscious drivers that throw out of alignment. If you receive one of the few of these cards in your reading, you're being asked to augment and finish your work by committing to a high vibrational act of love. there's a bit more information there. And then we have the beloved dead cards. Are our esteemed family of radiant souls. They will have a lot to say about your day-to-day interactions, personal dynamics, and experience of life. Each card will feature a character in a scene, and the card is representative of the message from that scene. Ask a question, connect with the card's energy, and receive its celestial perspective. And then there's a little bit more information there. How to begin. Attuning with the deck, so bonding with the deck. Starting with the spirit throne, connecting and affirming, calling all angels, so your spirit team, whoever you work with, opening up and closing prayers, very important. The act of love cards. So there's our colour images. So 1 page per card. And they've got slightly different information or different ways of doing it. So this one looks like it has affirmation. We've clearly got some kind of thought process here, whereas this is the base text, and here we just have what looks like main text. And then these must be the beloved dead cards. No, these are the beloved dead cards, clearly, because it's right there. Okay, and that goes through to the oracle spreads. And then she tells us about the spreads here, positions, the evidential spread, 3 cards. Got some sample spreads in here as well. Beloved dead spread. Ooh, that's a big one. Okay. So, gold gilding, yes. Love it. Nice ribbon. Basic box. Nothing more to worry about there. Let's take a look at these cards. So, these are the backs. These are the fronts. This would go with the Witch Oracle. WITCH, woman in total control of herself. Okay. So it feels like exactly the same quality as the Relative Tarot first up. And it's the same gilding. So I'm just going to flip through the cards. As I say, I haven't seen these before. Act of love as is. So these are the 10 love cards. Act of love be you. Okay. Do nothing. Forgiveness and faith. Here and now. Objectivity. Observation. Self-care. Self-preservation. Yes or no? So that's our love cards. And then we are, because these no longer say act of love on them, so now we're on to the rest of the cards of the deck. So they're in alphabetical by the looks of it. So this one's calling her Arcana. Be interesting to know what she is in the book. Backstory. So the reason why these are so intriguing, obviously, is the imagery for one, very unusual, old images, photos being used to create this. And I know that there's a backstory to how this whole deck came about. So I think she asked people to submit photos after using these decks. Conscientious. So these are some good keywords actually. Evermore. Reminds me of Edgar Poe, The Raven. Expectation. Haunted skeletons. So far everyone appears to have wings, so to help us understand that they are the beloved dead. Invisible. Kindred. Labour. Doesn't even escape the dead. It's pretty, isn't it, for optimism? Perfection. They're really comical kind of images, aren't they? Promise. Shake hands on it. Prophecy. Sense of purpose. Oh, so we have religion and purpose, so they're slightly different from each other then, perhaps. Shine. Well, they couldn't really give her any other name underneath, could they, other than Sovereign? Things. Time. Tribe. Just need to pick up the last few. It's not, sorry, just checking, it's not an actual shine on the card, that is vanity. Visitation through the windows. Wholesome, wise guy, witch, and the wild card Ouija on the bottom. And then we have the throne, spirit throne. So I guess you don't put that one in the deck. That one probably sits in the cards. So just mix them up a bit. And then let's see what sort of decks it goes with. Obviously, I haven't worked with this in the format that it's meant here, and I haven't done any of the spreads, so I can't talk about how it works from that perspective. But what I can do is see what it looks like next to some decks, which I have quite a few here because I'm planning a spread release video for a spread that I've created with my very own hands. So I've got loads of decks next to me to just have a pick from, so I'm just going to select from that pile rather than going and searching my other piles for something to use. So it does have a little bow in it, but it's mass market, and I think that'll probably kink out, but that could just be from where it's come from. If I store it the other way around, it'll probably sort itself out. So if we have an oracle, and what I'll do the oracle with the tarots either side. We'll put it next to the relative tarot, which again has the gilding, different backs. A slightly different story to it, but just see what you think. So we have Hermit with Kindred and Five of Pentacles. Seven of Swords with service and Three of Pentacles. So let's just take a look at service in the book a minute. As long as it's not the one with the biggest amount of writing. It's got quite a bit of writing. Okay, service. Let's have a quick squiz. Sirens blaring and lights flashing. When service arrives in a spread, it brings a message that help has arrived. It goes without saying that this card resonates with the expertise, dedication and bravery of first responders and rescuers, as well as fire emergency. Yeah. The beloved dead know that to truly be in service, you devote to something that's bigger than yourself. It's the clarion call to duty, even if it's personally inconvenient. The spiritual essence of this card also addresses the potential long-term effects of self-sacrifice. The beloved dead of service is opening a dialogue about your own self-awareness and restorative self-care rituals. If you're providing structure for others, how's the health and vitality of your own container or body? How's your emotional, energetic flow and balance? Is your passionate pursuit of solution? How's your own grounding? Innovating, connecting and leading. How's your clarity and consciousness? When this card is validating a loved one or an individual, service can also reveal a passing that may have involved an accident or a sudden medical event where urgent response and care was required. Your loved ones don't want you to hang on to any trauma involving this situation. Know that they are good and whole and want only to tend to your heart. Okay, so there's two meanings there for that card then. So we've got the one from when it's validating a loved one, when you're asking specifically about a loved one, which is that last bit, and then obviously the service as in how it serves you. So reading that out then with our Seven of Swords and that need to be stealth-like or preparedness, with service, and then the Three of Pentacles for collaboration. So you're needing some help of some description for what's going on, for what you're preparing for. It's needing some help to get there, and it's going to be done through collaboration. So I think they it made sense in my head. That's all I can say. Two of Swords with purpose and King of Pentacles. So the Two of Swords is struggling to make their decision, whereas we have our purpose here. So the sense of purpose, or knowing the sense of purpose for which you're making your decision in order to own your outcome. How about that for the Fool with promise and Eight of Swords? Okay, yeah, so we've got, setting out in a new direction. We're shaking on it, so we're doing it. But we are here then stuck in our own heads and our own minds and worried that we are now trapped into something that we can't do. So perhaps we leaped before we looked. High Priestess with privilege and Four of Wands. Let's just look at privilege. I mean, the word privilege already brings in pictures of itself, doesn't it? But let's just see what we have in here. So I hope you're all okay looking at that image. So the immediate starts out with exactly as kind of image it conjures is to the manor born and presumably with a silver spoon in the mouth. Privilege indicates an individual or ancestor who came from wealth or was raised with a set of distinct advantages, never found wanting for anything that money could buy. Privileges lives upstairs and rings downstairs for tea. Whether from professional staff or from a doting partner or parent, when describing this pampered energy, privilege smacks of entitlement. This is my divine birthright. I deserve the finest things and the best treatment, in italics. So does privilege feel thankful for their blessed life? Not really. They just want it all and they want it now. Growing up on the less privileged side of the tracks can leave an imprint no matter how successful you may be. No matter how much you have, this pattern of scarcity will always leave you feeling cheated or wanting in some regard. This card also indicates lavishing advantages that you never had on someone who remains unappreciative or who is unable to roll up their own sleeves. The beloved dead also reminds you to take inventory of your own blessings and always ask what innate abilities and resources you could be mining to get further ahead. So yeah, so the privileges of knowledge. So here we have like the darker questionings going deeper with the knowledge that you maybe could be seeking from this, and with your Four of Wands for a happy outcome. Just thoughts off the top of my head. So that is the relative tarot, and it is just the standard, same pictures, but very much done to look like RWS, with the images drawn over the top to make it very evident for what you're looking at. And the book that comes with the relative tarot doesn't go through the meanings of the cards. It goes through how to find your birth number, your life path numbers, rather than any RWS meanings, because you can get that from any other place. It doesn't have to be this one. So there's the relative. Here's one that I know is going to look good. And that is Madame Wilhelmina. How they go for reading wise, I don't know, but I think visually, I know full well that for those of you who are more aesthetic than the message, then this is one of your palettes, isn't it? You might not like my selection cards, but the palette's there. So let's just move down. So we've got Three of Cups with limelight and strength. Oh, Three of Coins with innocent and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Four of Coins with hospitality and Four of Wands. Oh, so we've got two lots of fours and hospitality. So we've got some balance all around here. And, hospitality, what are we paying for? So hospitality doesn't always come free. Sometimes you have to give and take, but if you want to create a party, you might need to have some hospitality, which means you might need to pay for it. I'm making up stories here. Six of Coins with Messenger and Two of Swords. That's a very interesting one, and he's actually looking that way, isn't he? So something nostalgic from the past, we're sending a message off to the future to help, remove that blindfold, really. You can't make a decision or a choice without the knowledge. It's certainly not going to be informed, is it? Two of Coins. Oh, and they're kind of mimicking. Do you see how they're all sort of balancing each other? Like they're bouncing that way and this one's this way. So we've got Two of Coins, drama, and Knight of Wands. Is that drama in the bed space? Although, can I just put that back a second? It looks like he's going to aim for his backside or his foot, and that's why that's why they are leaping up in the air, look, to get their foot out of the way before they spear it. The Hermit with disconnect. Yeah. And Seven of Coins. Okay. Yeah, message-wise, I think that's pretty good. Aesthetics-wise, I think that's pretty good. So that is the Monsters and Macabre and Autumn Scenes by Madame Wilhelmina. Lydia Wilhelmina. That one. Now, I thought maybe this might go with this deck. Because it's an oracle, sometimes if you haven't got a tarot deck to go with an oracle, sometimes you need something symbolic, don't you, to just help you work through with what you've got. So I thought maybe that these would, I don't know, I use this deck so infrequently that it takes me a while to get in tune with what it's saying. So we've got Scourge with being conscientious and the Frog. So you can make up your own meanings for these. You have the Coin with an act of love for as is. So I'd have to read what as is means. And then we've got the Poppet. Should we just have a quick check? See what we all think of. What if I forgave myself? What if I was sorry? What if yes was the right answer instead of no? What if what made me do all those things was also what had got me here. That is from Cheryl Strayed of the Wild. You may want something to be dramatically different, if only. Maybe if I just fill in the blank. Your ego rides in like your cavalry to help make sense of an unexpected and unwanted dynamic. This can't be blank, blank, blank. But it is. And so the ego tries to absorb the shock. When you receive the as-is in a reading, it's activating a truthful acceptance and acknowledgement in a situation. It requires a removal of your rose-tinted glasses and a willingness to surrender to something that, at least for time, is manifestly out of your control. These following 3 words, a stark and simple mantra, help ground you in reality and provide the closure necessary for you to move on to your new normal. There it is. There it is. There it is. So, as is. Financial problems coming to the forefront, and then we have the poppet. I think that sort of makes sense to me, actually. I've got star with yes or no and mushroom. We'll do one more with these. We have the bone, self-preservation, another as-is, act of love, and iceberg. Okay, sorry about that. Max was having a good old moment in the front room there, trying to get Marjorie to play with him. So I thought the other thing you could do with this, like in the same vein, would be Lenormand cards, maybe, to clarify the oracle if you're not a tarot. These are in order, so I don't expect there to be much kind of synchronicity in what's coming, but as a visual representation, for those of you who read Lenormand, I thought you might be able to appreciate what we got going on here. So I will leave it there for those, just because I haven't learnt to read with these yet. So those ones were the Rana George Lenormand from US Games. Tarot decks. I've got so many tarot decks. Let's do that one. Tarot of the Vampyres from Llewellyn. So the black borders, kind of dark imagery. So I thought, yeah, it's not going to not go, is it? 7 of Sceptres, Addiction, the Magician. I like that. Queen of Skulls with Driver and Queen of Knives. Ooh. Prince of Skulls, Survive, Judgment. Yeah, they go, don't they? Lord of Skulls with our Sovereign, Lord and Lady, and our 5 of Skulls looking for help. I think they're a visual, aren't they? Can't do one vampire without the other though, can I? So let's just quickly grab the other vampire. It's on the table. So this is this one. New out from Llewellyn. It's a bit more blue. It's borderless and blue. So it may be that actually many of you don't like the one being framed and one not being framed. So we've got our wild card. 9 of Pentacles, wild card with the star. You know, they might go. The Lovers, Optimism, and 4 of Cups. I quite like how that's going. So he needs to be a bit more optimistic about what he's got from a blood bank choice perspective, not be so grumpy. 3 of Swords with Absence and the High Priestess. So they read in quite well. As a reading pattern, I think they're quite good. I can see maybe visually that this wouldn't be everyone's cup of tea. I know there are some really vibrant cards in this deck as well. Wise Guy with the Moon and Ace of Wands. 5 of Wands with body and 10 of Swords. Interesting. I think that might be one of the colourful cards down there. Yeah, there you go. Just so you can see how it looks with the colours. Message-wise, I don't mind it. Perhaps imagery-wise, I can see that that wouldn't be aesthetically pleasing for everyone. But sometimes I could be more about the message than I am about the aesthetics. And other times, if the wind's blowing in the right direction, I'll be about the aesthetics and the message. I mean, when they do actually kind of like match up, it's like, oh, hello, yes, please, they look amazing. Then, you know, you've struck gold, haven't you? So this with the relative tarot, perfect. And then this one. I'm just going to leave it open because I need to open it again in a minute. So I just thought this would be a good one to take a little look at with it, because we have the black, the white, the gold, the straightforward picture. So I thought perhaps my thinking, bear with, is that this is simple imagery with this one. So judgment, personality, 9 of daggers. Death, perception, haunting of bones. So haunting of bones, I think that is a king of bones. I believe. I think it's terror, nightmare. Haunting and massacre. Oh no, haunting queen, queen of bones. Massacre is the king. Three of daggers with our time and 2 of daggers. So yeah, we are asking for more time based on the information that we've got here before we can make our decisions. The divine with wise guy and terror of cups. That's high priestess, by the way. They kind of do, don't they? 6 of crystals, optimism, and 10 of daggers. Yeah, I mean, the relative tarot is my favourite from all of them. And one more Nick Bantock, the archeo, because these are archetype things. I thought maybe the archeo sat next to it might work. I think these go this way up. Let's just bring you out a bit. See what we think. I think, you know, actually they're not too bad when it comes to colour wise. So our angel with the academic. Oh, Ouija card light's coming up, doesn't it? Anima animist. Isn't that interesting? Architect with the witch. That's a really interesting message, isn't it? Right? You are the architecture of what you create, what you conjure. Awakener with survive. Forgive my little trumpet noise. Demon with driver. So that gives him a slightly different feel with that one. Eccentrics with addiction. And Max is off again. Sorry. It's about playtime for them. Healer and chicken. I don't recall seeing that when I did the flip through. You know, it just goes to show what you do and don't pay attention to when you're doing a flip through. That's funny. And intimacy with act of love, yes or no. We'll leave that there. So what do you think? I mean, there are so many other decks, isn't there? Like the Dreamscape Tarot would look beautiful with this. Dreamkeeper's Tarot, the Oracle and Tarot of the Mystical Moments would be perfect with this as well. So whatever you're putting it with, let me know. And have you started working with it? And how are you finding it? Because obviously it's a really weird concept to have in a deck, I think. Weird, unusual. It's an unusual concept to get in a deck of so many cards and to have so much thought put into it. And to have that lovely guidebook as well. I'm really glad she's done the guidebook. But from a deck perspective, what are you all thinking? Anyway, until the next one, take care. Bye-bye.